The biggest changes that have been introduced by the Commission's proposal are that downstream operators and traders no longer need to submit a due diligence statement to the EU Traces portal. Primary operators are still responsible for submitting a due diligence statement to Traces, so their responsibilities remain essentially unchanged. They are responsible for sharing their due diligence reference numbers with their downstream operators and traders. However, in the proposal, there is no mention that those reference numbers need to be shared in real time. So in theory, unless guidance is shared further down the line that changes this, primary operators could share those reference numbers at the conclusion of a year. They don't necessarily need to share those reference numbers as they're submitting their due diligence statements to the EU Traces system. For downstream operators and traders, however, because they do not need to submit their due diligence statements with the reference numbers included to the EU Traces system, they are merely responsible for retaining those reference numbers for the 5-year period that is mandated under EUDR. They must maintain those reference numbers within their own systems. But again, they do not need to submit those to the EU Traces system in any capacity. The next biggest change that the Commission's proposal introduces is that downstream operators and traders no longer need to ascertain that due diligence has been conducted further upstream. So that means that there is no secondary due diligence responsibility for the downstream operators and traders. That includes due diligence around the deforestation analysis for those products, and that also includes due diligence around legality for the products that those downstream operators and traders are placing on the market. So primary operators bear the full responsibility for a complete due diligence for the products that they are placing on the market under EUDR.